Hey everybody, Jimmy from Superpath here with my friend Tommy Walker. Hey Tommy, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you, Jimmy?
Good, good. Really excited to do this. Um, we're doing just a quick Q&A about a role that you're currently hiring for. Um, I want to talk about that in a second. Maybe first though, can you Tommy just explain your business, the Content Studio? Just give
Sure.
us like an overview of it?
Sure. So the Content Studio is a consultancy, content marketing consultancy for high growth B2B SaaS startups and Fortune 1000 enterprises. We frequently build content marketing programs and stand them up for large organizations. And part of that is to build out the operations, hire freelance talent to make sure that we're finding the exact right people for the gig. And that's pretty much it.
Cool. Okay,
I mean,
cool. I
there's
love it.
more to it, but
Yeah, yeah. No,
but
that's
that's the
helpful.
stuff that's the most relevant.
Yeah, yeah. And so you're hiring for a writer or writers, maybe. I'm not sure if you're looking for one
Yes.
or multiple people, but
Ideally, two.
okay, cool. And so you're hiring them to do some work on behalf of an existing client, which is a
Yes.
social media network. I guess how much can or tell us, I guess, what you're able to tell us about um, company, some of the work that will go into this.
Yep.
Sounds like recurring project that's going to require 2 to 4 articles on a monthly basis.
Yep. Yeah, that's basically it. So it's a large social media network. You likely use it daily. And what we're looking to do is build out a glossary of business definitions. So we're looking at things like sales development representative, landing pages, likely pieces that have been written multiple times from the people in this community. Um, but they are high level pages that have to do with these particular topics. With some pages, especially on the sales side of the operation, um, we'll be doing a little bit more bottom of funnel content. So that person who we pick for that has to be familiar with the different positioning and the different guidelines that they've set in place. That side of the house is a little bit more strict on that.
Okay.
Um, but totally worth it. Definitions themselves, they're anywhere between 1,800 to 2,000 words, and the expectation would be to produce one every week or one every 2 weeks, depending on the cadence that we decide to go with.
Cool. That sounds good. Will writers work directly with you, directly with the client, or some mix of
Directly
those
with
two?
me.
Cool. Oh,
Directly
that's
with
good.
me mostly. So the client does have some involvement, but we've established a really good working relationship, a lot of really good flow. Um, and the edits that happen, so generally what will happen is the article is turned in, I get the first pass, and the client will take a look at it, we'll get a second review, and then we'll do a second draft, and then usually that's all it takes to get a piece published.
Cool.
um, you know these are not bylined pieces. I should emphasize that these are
Yeah,
not
that's a good point.
bylined. However, the client is totally comfortable with the author using their logo on the website.
Okay,
So,
cool. Oh, that's nice. That's
yeah,
fantastic, actually. Okay, cool. Love it. Are you able to talk about pay? Is it a flat rate? Is it a per word,
yep,
a retainer?
yep. It's a flat rate, so it's $1,000 a piece, and the pay is weekly. The way that the contract is structured is you would be going through a third party agency that handles all of the paperwork and whatnot. That process is a little bit more. It's very involved. It's a very involved process and kind of a pain, to be perfectly just blunt about it. Um, Technically, even though you are a freelancer, you would be employed as a W 2, which means that the role is US based only for a number of different reasons, but that's
Gotcha.
one of the big ones, which means that even though it's $1,000 an article, taxes are taken out of that, which can be a blessing and a curse. But that's for me personally, that's one of the things I like the most. And pay is weekly. So,
Yeah, that's
uh,
nice.
yeah. So that's the big thing, is that it's consistent pay and it's pay on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's nice. That's actually really nice because like chasing a giant company around to get paid on like net 30 or 60 terms gets old really quickly.
Yeah.
Um, Cool. That's fantastic. Anything that you're looking like, what would stand out, I guess, in a writing sample? Anything in particular that would really get you excited as folks are applying?
It has a lot to do with the structure of the piece, because the audience that we're going after is fairly new. I mean, they're Googling terms that are pretty high level. If you're looking at what is a sales representative, right, or a sales development representative, there's a certain thing to really think about when it comes to the intent of that piece. So the structure of each of these pieces is something that's really important to me. The other thing that makes it really stand out is if it is to the point, not a lot of excess words, and the thing that, the word economy is probably the thing that stands out the most to me.
Mm,
The cool part about these pieces is, I should say this too, there's not a lot of third party research that needs to be put into it. So it's not, according to a study by blah, blah, blah. Don't need that. We're just looking for long form definitions that are straight to the point, high, solid word economy, and really well structured.
cool. I love it. Are you like me where like I only want um, live URLs as writing samples? Like, like don't send me like your personal website.com/portfolio with 1,000 articles in it. It's just like,
Yeah,
it's
give
just not
me give
helpful.
me give me three of your most representative samples that are closest to this work. Totally recognize and respect that the different editorial standards of different places are going to ask for different things. Um, but I can usually tell within the first 300 words whether or not it's going to be a good fit. So um, that's going to be the main thing. Is just, yeah. I think I've answered the question
Yeah, no,
already.
totally. I mean, I look at writing samples all the time. The thing that stands out to me so often is you can tell when someone has carefully selected samples
Yes.
for this specific application versus just kind of dumping a few recent pieces on your desk, which is
Yep.
the latter is not helpful. The former is incredibly helpful.
And I will not look at your portfolio.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Okay.
period. I won't look at it. It's three representative samples, and that's pretty much it. That's, so pick carefully.
Cool. No, I love it. Anything else, Tommy, that I should have asked you about this gig that I didn't, or anything else you want to add?
I can't think of anything. We do have yeah, I should state though that we do have a really solid operation in place already. So there's a lot of automation involved. You'll be notified over Slack when a piece is ready to go. Um, and there are a number of different things in place. Like we have outlines that are very, very tightly put together. They don't necessarily have to adhere directly to the outline, but it is something where it is recommended. There's a lot of research that goes into the brief ahead of time.
Cool.
Uh,
That's great.
so yeah, so there's a lot there that's involved. We try to do a whole lot of upfront work to make it easy on the person who's doing the piece.
Love it. That's great. I will also say, as like kind of a final sales pitch, you hired me as a freelancer many years
Years
ago,
ago, yeah.
a long time ago, like before no code and Airtable and all this cool stuff that we have now. And you were extremely easy to work with. You set super clear expectations. The edits were clear, turnarounds were quick. It was just an easy way to engage. So appreciate that. And I would imagine it's only better now that like it's just easier to build better process around the stuff. So that's my sales
Yeah.
pitch. Um,
Uh, People who will be, whoever we pick for the team too, is we have some really high level folks that you most likely recognize in the space. So there you'll be joining a really good group of people who are already involved with this project.
that's fantastic. Super cool. Well, thank you, Tommy. Seriously, thank you for doing this. It's really a huge service to the community and to our newsletter subscribers and all the folks that see this because now they have a bunch of context that they wouldn't have otherwise had. So to encourage folks, if you're qualified, definitely apply. Pick those writing samples carefully, verify that you're in the US, and I hope we can send some good folks your way, Tommy.
Thanks so much, man. I'm looking forward to seeing who joins up.
Me too. Cool. Take care.